bull run is over. This is the most massive dump in history. Power Slam, are you talking about Bitcoin? Because if you're talking about Bitcoin, this is not the biggest sell-off. This is not the biggest sell-off. Not even close. Let's look at the measure one more time here. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we just sold off way more than I thought. That is a 20% sell-off. Let me show you something. If you think that's a big deal. All right, this is my BLX, my logarithmic chart. I'm not saying that right. My log scale chart for, let's just make all this a lot smaller. For Bitcoin, I'm going to show you a sell-off. Let's look at some sell-offs. I think you might have been being sarcastic too, so I apologize if you were being sarcastic. I'm just being rude. Not trying to be rude. But let's take a look at something. This is the last halving cycle. These purple vertical dotted lines are the halving events. This is a miner's halving. So we don't know exactly when it happens. It's algorithmic, and so it's slightly different, but it's a number of blocks, not like a specific date set. Just FYI, in case anybody's wondering. So it depends on how long it takes for the next 4,000, whatever it is, 40,000. I forget the number of blocks. It's some number of blocks, 140,000 blocks or something like that. And the blocks, they don't get mined exactly every 10 minutes. It's a rough approximation, and the algorithm changes the complexity every 2 weeks. So anyway, it's pretty close. So this is when it happened, the 10th of July 2016. And from that point on, Bitcoin went on a monster bull run, but not after first initially having a sell-off. This almost always happens right after the halving event for some reason. There's a little bit of a sell-off, and then it starts this big bull run. All right, so what we're looking at right now is a roughly 20% sell-off. Take a look at this one. So from peak to trough, that was 35%. And then this one here was a 40% sell-off. So let me ask you this. If you were in this last bull run, another 40% sell-off, 40%, so 35. If you're in this last run and you saw what we're seeing right now, and you got shaken out right here, how would you have felt watching that for the next few months? Or right now we're well above. This is the prior all-time high on this, like the prior all-time high of the prior bull market cycle. So maybe the analog is probably better to be. We're being up here, so you're in good profits. Right now everybody's in good profit. It's probably about double. What is it? Double 2,000? Yeah, it's a pretty good analog in this little section right here. Look at that. But what we're having right now is not even half this sell-off. So what we're at right now today is maybe this piece, and it may continue another 20% down. Stop, bad computer. All right, so this is probably about 20%. Yeah, so initial, so there you go. That's a 30%. Look how fast that 30% happened. Boom. So you're sitting here at your computer watching this. Now this is a log chart, remember, so it looks, let me take it off of log chart. All right, that's what the sell-off looked like. So if you had just bought, you'd be freaking out as you watch this. You bought it 2,900 and it got all the way down to 1,800. That's like going from 29,000 to 18,000, right? That's like going from, what are we at, 30-something thousand? 40,000 down to 24,000 or something. I mean, let's go measure this. What's a 40% sell-off? Which is 40% is about the worst case scenario, for the most part. So I don't think the sell-off is that bad at all. I mean, this is what I'm getting at. The 50-day moving average is up here at 24K. That I think is probably our worst case scenario for an initial sell-off. The 120 or 200 are kind of out of range for a little bit. These are going to have to be pulled up significantly before they come back into accumulation zone. Even thinking about using those as an accumulation zone. So we're at a 20%. A 40%, look at that. Look at that symmetry. A 40% sell-off puts us right into this main trend line we've been watching and right into the 50-day moving average. Now, I'm going to show you where I get this main trend line from that I just deleted. I'll show you this. I've got this all over my charts. Here's your altcoin phases. All right, let's take a look at my trend lines here. All right, so the prime trend line I copied shamelessly from Jordan Lindsey, Conquer Trading Investing. this is it right down here, right? And this liquidity crisis caused us to sell and break down below that trend line when the thought is it probably wouldn't have sold off. But anyway, I cloned these trend lines. And what I did is I went back and I found for myself, now I think Jordan and some others have those slightly different trend lines, but I'm also using the Gemini feed, which might be causing mine to be slightly different. But I've got several significant touches here. On the way up, this one wick down, and these two down here. And then I have another trend line here on the start of the bear phase, our big sell-off. We wick down to this one. And we wick down again to this right here, this area. We wick down to it. We found support several times before we broke through, and then we tested it once as resistance. So the one below it's actually slightly more, I think, probably important as far as trend lines go. Did I hide all the? Oh, it's just so parabolic, and it looked like it was even there. So this is the level that Heath's saying that we should all be watching. If he said we should be watching it, that's the level we should be watching. I'll make it big. But yeah, I mean, a sell-off back into that trend line would not be the end of the world. It'd be a nice shakeout for a lot of people, though. All right, so. And Power, you may have been joking too, I don't know. But it's not the most massive sell-off I mean, this is totally under control. Nice sell-off. Let's go look at Bitcoin dominance real fast. So I was calling a possible head and shoulders here, and I don't know where the neckline is. I mean, actually, it's probably way off because it's kind of what I don't like about this is this little bit of, whatever happened there. But nonetheless, if it were to end up being a head and shoulders, we probably came into the neckline and bounced off of it. And let's see if it breaks back down here after testing this resistance. So anyway, I kind of saw it as a potential head and shoulders, but we'll see what happens. We got support on it. We haven't broken the neckline, so that's what matters. That's what matters. See you in the morning, Brandon. Taking off. Have a good night. Happy trading. Yep. Thanks, Heath. Probably missed you, but see ya. Friday 42K, Monday 33K. I mean, it could be. Slam, yeah. But I mean, is that really that big? Think about what you're saying though. At the 33, I didn't think like 33,000 at the beginning of January. Like I would have been back here in mid-December. I'd have been super elated to be above 28 or something. That'd be like awesome. I was thinking, we'd be messing around with the prior all-time high and through most of January and then break it kind of late January. So my expectation right now is that we should be down here, but we're way up here. So if we sell off, 32,000, well, that's a nice. All right, how about more at 34K? Oh, buy VET, yeah. That's a good one. Let's take a look at the versus Bitcoin and see what VET's doing. A little bit of a dip. You see this trend line I got here? These long-term trend lines on VET, VeChain. All right, you see we're hitting that trend line. Let's see what I got here. I got to flip this. I got way too many lines on this chart. This purple line is the real important one to get back above. But make this less bright. It doesn't need to be that bright. And then I'll turn this red. And then I'm going to get rid of this one because it doesn't matter anymore. All right, well, yeah, we're sitting on that trend line now. So we broke down before, and I put another trend line down there. And it's because it started to get some touches on that market structure. But we're just back in that trend line on the VET BTC chart. VET will probably be a pretty good trade when we get out of this. This is so... anybody see any patterns here? I'm just trying to detect a pattern. Some type. I don't know. Get above this 96 level, 96 Satoshi level, and the VET's going to be real strong versus Bitcoin. But right now it's, kind of in that perilous, very sideways action right now. But VET will probably make a good run, I bet, yeah. Good time to buy Bitcoin. Christian, I agree. I think if you were trying to get in, we'd all said before, I just said this in my last live stream, whenever it was, I forget when I did that. Was it Friday? I just literally said, if you were trying to get, I made that video. I made it into a short video, right? On the lengthening Bitcoin cycles. If you sold out because your lengthening Bitcoin cycle, or you were, thinking that the lengthening Bitcoin cycle might be a thing, and you sold out way back here somewhere, and now you're looking to try to get back in, this is the 15, 20, 25% of the levels I had pegged. So tonight, if you would have, if I would have been me, right, and I found myself in that situation, what I would have done immediately is placed orders at 15, 20, and 25% based on that high right there. And I'd manage them every time it makes a new all-time high. So I'd have got my 15% order, which would have probably been 20%, about 20%, and then I would have done 25% at 20% off. So I'd be 50% back into what I wanted to be in Bitcoin, and then I'd have my one last 50% order at 25% off, 25% down. I'd be 100% back in. So I'd scale in, right? So something like 20, then 30, then 50 is how I'd have done it, and I'd have been 50% back in, and I'd be feeling pretty good if I was trying to get back in. Preach it, brother. If I sell, I can't buy Bitcoin again. I'm lost. Sorry, I'm a noob at this. Carlos, if you sell, of course you can buy again. Unless, I don't know, unless you, yeah. Your risk is then left behind. It bounces back quickly and sharply. Pullbacks are healthy. Don't panic. Sell. What about Ethereum? What type of Ethereum? Ethereum, what I said this just a couple weeks ago. We were down here consolidating, and I said, as soon as we break this area, you can go back and check the videos. As soon as we break, it's going to be a quick trip to the all-time high. It's going to be a very quick trip because there's like no resistance. Now, I said we were going to pause at 8:15. I was wrong. We paused at like, what is it, 7:50? 7:50 gave us a pause, and we blasted out. And now we're just having some volatility. And so, good thing is all this volatility, volatility happens both ways. So when you get these big sell-offs, a lot of times it can snap back harder. And that's what happens in crypto. Happens a lot in crypto. It's I don't know if it's manipulation. I'm not going to try to go there. I just know, and especially in Ethereum. I've been trading Ethereum since the very beginning. Since I started mining Ethereum months after it came out, because I had GPUs that I couldn't mine Bitcoin with anymore. And once I realized that there was something else I could be mining, I started mining it. But so I've been trading Ethereum this whole time, and I can tell you one thing I've seen over and over and over again is it has these monster sell-offs, then it goes on these 3 times, rip your face off, run the other direction. And let's look at the chart. I'll show you. It happens so many times, it's ridiculous. It's just the way Ethereum works. Look at this. I was there. I was sitting. I watched this happen. Where is this at? 27. Right here. I watched this happen. I probably sold what I had, a little bit out of mine way back here. And then I was watching this going, I wish I'd bought. But I remember sitting there kind of like passively watching this big giant sell-off, and then it just ripped. Now, does this look familiar? Let me ask y'all a question. Does this look familiar? Consolidation, big rip, big sell-off. Oh, look at this. Well, see, now some of these are, this was, obviously it came back down to the downside. But look at this. This big rip, this big sell-off here. Then it bounced back and consolidated and it took off. So fair enough. That wasn't like an immediate in-your-face turnaround. I'll find some more here. This is in the bear market. All right. Let's go back to the bull markets are when this happens. It just happened at So, like I said, I don't know if it's manipulation. Right here, say we're consolidating below this. We sell pretty hard, and then we make a move up and break out. This big monster wick down right here, and then we went up, reversed here. This happens here, and then here, right? And this just happened, right? Remember this? If you were sitting here, if you were trading, let me go back to a lower time frame. I'll show you. Just put yourself back. Put yourself back where, like, if you were actively watching, right? Now watch this. That looks pretty rough, doesn't it? This just happened. I mean, this is literally just happened. So we came in, and this is the area I was saying. As soon as we break this area, we're going back to the all-time high in a hurry. Right here. This was just December. This was mid-December. And yeah, to late December. It's just happened. So you're sitting here watching this. Look at that sell-off. What is that total? Over the course of a few days. Right? So from 17th of December to 20%. That's not as big as I thought. 20% sell-off. But then, boom. And then this wick down, and then boom. It happens over, wick down, and then boom. It happens over and over and over and over and over again on Ethereum.